Good afternoon. Welcome to United Fellowship Chapel. Let's start with an opening prayer. Mother, Father God, we give thanks for your presence here today. We ask for your angelic intelligence and your resilience to circulate through each and every one. We ask for your limitless light of armor to be established in and around and through this building and on Zoom. And that only the highest and best will occur through our thoughts, words, and actions. And through those thoughts, words, and actions will direct us to a greater knowledge of our own self. So when we meet those on our passage, we have a greater knowledge of them. We give thanks for this day. Amen. So if you'll open up your program, on the left-hand side, we'll read our invocation out loud. All-knowing, which art within us, hallowed be I am. Ignite our understanding that we are eternal spiritual beings with the power to create happiness, health, and wealth in our lives. Ignite our understanding that our choices belong to us and are the seeds that create our lives. Ignite forgiveness of self as we ignite forgiveness of others. We give thanks for the power and the glory of I am in all. Amen. So let's just take a moment and breathe in what we just said to absorb the energy of those words. And now we'll read our affirmation out loud with vigor and excitement. I am that I am, the light of the living God, and therefore I am free and all-knowing. Ignite my soul with thy spirit, O God, I pray. On the right-hand side of the program, you'll find all of our classes, events that are going on this next week. Tuesday at 5 p.m. self-realization. We'll continue with our third class of prosperity. I will be directing that class that day. And we have on Friday, myself, Rachel, and Reverend Ernestina, as well as Reverend David, we're all giving readings that day from 1 to 4. Reverend David's readings are Rama Ramu readings, which is his ancient master. His are 25 for 15 minutes, and the others are $40 per half hour. And all the sign-up sheets are in the back of the chapel, or you can give us a call and we can set you up for an appointment if you are on Zoom. Everything is set up on Zoom or in person. And Saturday, we have our 12 Powers, our second 12 Powers class. Reverend Ernestina will be doing the second one, and she'll be going over power, faith, and zeal. So come join us for that, and that's at 12 o'clock on Saturday. And now's the time for our healing meditation, which will be done by Reverend David.
As we become quiet, let us concentrate on our breath. As this breath moves into the nostrils and into your being, feel the relaxation that's being ignited. As this relaxation moves gently in and around and through your being, it turns into something very beautiful called love. This love conquers all disease and blockage and injury in your life, and you recognize this love being alive and active with each breath. As you exhale, you release toxins of negative attitude that you have towards yourself and all people concerned. As you are releasing these toxins, they are being dispersed into the I am. Relax, recognize, and release. It's the healing breath that's moving ever so gently in and around and through you. And as this healing breath moves gently in and around and through you, it starts settling in the feet area, the understanding part of our being. And with each breath, you understand you. As you understand you, you understand the world that you move in. Just relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath starts moving toward your ankles and up your legs, feeling all tension, frustration, and nervousness leave, just relax, recognize, and release. All the irritation and agitation that you've acquired throughout the day are dissolving. Just relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath reaches and touches the hips, know that you're free to move forward in life with vitality, with vitality. And as this healing breath moves ever so gently to the base of your spine and the small of your back, you notice that it's becoming stronger. This is where our strength lies, confidence, security, firmness, and strength. And as it moves up the spine, touching each vertebrae, each nerve, and each vessel, you feel light. You feel light, giving up the burdens that don't belong to you, to take care of the ones that do. Just relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath reaches and touches the shoulders, relax the shoulders. The shoulders represent responsibilities in life, and know that you are doing your responsibilities in life. You also allow other people to let them do their responsibilities with that same freedom and ease. Relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath moves ever so gently down your arms and reaching towards your hands, feel that breath between your hands. This is your healing breath, your healing breath. As you have this healing breath between your hands, place it very gently in the lower abdomen area. Life is here. You are full of life. Life is full of you. Life is happiness, health, and wealth. You eliminate all that hinders you from life, and order is being ignited with each breath. Order adjusts all faculties of mind to move harmoniously for life. Relax, recognize, and release. As this healing breath moves to the stomach area, wisdom is now being ignited with each breath. You are wise in all that you think, say, and do. You are wise in all you think, say, and do. As this wisdom moves to the heart area, the love center of our being, and with each beat of the heart, you're sending love to all parts of your being. And you radiate this love. You radiate this love, and it moves every person, place, and thing that you come in contact with. This radiance is being ignited in them. And this radiance moves ever so gently now to the throat area, the aspect, the power aspect of our being. You are the commander in your life. You are at ease with that command. As this breath moves to the base, the back of the head, to the very crown of the head, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, you are relaxing, recognizing, and releasing. As you are in this relaxed and healing mode, you notice your path beneath your feet. You notice the grass that lines this path, the sun that trickles through the trees that also line this path. As you start moving down your path, there's a breeze that touches your body. It's the healing breath of the universe, healing every moment of your step on that path. As you move freely down the path of the healing energy, you notice a clearing in front of you that's free for you to move into. As you move into the clearing, you notice a body of water that is crystal clear and healing to your touch. And healing to your touch. If you choose to submerge into the water, breathing freely, all organs functioning properly, knowing healing is being ignited within you. If you choose to sit or to lie or to stand and to absorb the elements of this universe, the earth, the water, the air, and the sun, knowing healing is being ignited within you. I'm going to leave you here for a few moments, allow healing to be igniting within you. Take advantage and enjoy. Very gently now, wherever you are, if you are in the water, it's time to rise, completely dry. Remembering all that you see, felt, and heard, feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. If you were sitting or lying, it's time to rise, remembering all that you see, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. As you are aware of your healing clearing and healing body of water, you notice that each and every one of us surround that body of water, and you notice that your healing breath starts to expand and touch each and every one. And we become one healing breath, one healing breath. And we direct this healing breath to the healing box, to all the souls that are making transition in and out of this world, all the institutes of health, all healing that are taking place and being maintained. All the heads of state that peace is the journey and destination. All those affected by the winds, the rains, the snows, the movement of the earth, and the virus that is going on, that they are healed and protected. If there's anyone that you know that is in need of healing right now, think of them, and this healing energy will go directly to them, and healing will be ignited within them. And as you are aware of your healing clearing, and you're aware of your path, as you move toward your path, you notice anything changed, added, or taken away. And as you move down your path, your mental and physical consciousness becomes aware, remembering all that you've seen, felt, and heard, and feeling very refreshed, alert, and keen. As you become more aware, remember the mental and physical consciousness of your being. And when your mental and physical consciousness are fully aware, open your eyes.
Thank you, Reverend David, for that lovely meditation. And now's the time for our speaker today. Our speaker is in our seminary and is re-understanding what being wise is all about and all that she thinks, says, and does. Leslie.
Reverend Angela. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I've always had a kinship with Alice Kingsley, the very same fictional Alice from Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. This privileged, naive girl who ends up in a fantastic and dangerous world where adults are bonkers, rules are purposely confusing, and nothing can be expected. Impossible things are even encouraged. Growing up, I rarely had any idea what was going on. At 5, my parents divorced and each married bizarrely fractured and frankly mad characters. The stepmother was deeply insecure, an addict, and out to get me. The stepfather was lazy, punished the world for his bad choices, and avoided wearing pants at all times. These two step-parents became the central figures in my life. The birth parents were happy to fade into the background and become insignificant characters in my early story. My father avoided the situation by traveling constantly, and my mother protected herself by offering up her 2 daughters as tribute. Even outside my home, there was lots of danger in the world that I grew up in. People were typically not what they initially seemed, as I quickly learned, and should not be trusted. I knew at an early age what drugs and alcohol were and watched the effects take hold of the people around me. Near disasters were common, being stuck in the snow in the back roads of the Sierras, bizarre fishing trips, and strange escalations. Car accidents were always worse when children were mocked for wearing seatbelts. These were seriously irresponsible adults with no business having children. Oh, and I'm an intuitive medium. So I had an extra layer of confusion on top. I knew, saw, heard things that I shouldn't. I could read a room instantly and know if it's safe. I learned early in childhood that some men and boys had plans for me that must be avoided. I could feel the energies and intentions and noticed when actions didn't correspond with people's words. The lies that both my birth parents perpetuated to rationalize or explain away the abuse was so obvious to me. Later in my life, I saw the abusive patterns had been learned and perpetuated for generations in my family. This is why they felt familiar and comfortable to the adults around me. They knew this dance. What is a family if there isn't at least one unhealed and toxic adult in the corner that you must walk on eggshells for? Most of the houses we moved into were also haunted. It was the restless and active spirits that wanted my attention. I started telling my parents about seeing and hearing shadow people in first grade. Of course, the British parents in the Alice in Wonderland books certainly didn't believe young Alice when she spoke of impossible things. And in character, my family didn't believe me. Worse, I was characterized as wanting extra attention by saying such things. Ha! The last thing I wanted was more attention from these mad people. So imagine this topsy-turvy world. Who teaches one to be normal when you're not like anything around you? What if you're the only one like you and you've been looking for my people? How do you know what to do? Especially when you realize you can do anything, really. It really is a pickle. My guiding principle currently is wisdom. Wisdom is one of the 12 mind powers that we learn to study in our metaphysical principles. The seat of wisdom is in your lower abdomen near your solar plexus. Another way of saying wisdom is judgment. Sometimes this word judgment can be triggering or irritating. If it is, as Reverend David says, you may choose to investigate that irritation to find out what knowledge of yourself you can explore. Our metaphysical principles tell us that those who master the powers of wisdom and order will be able to rule themselves. And we've been taught that you can rule your thoughts, words, and actions. You can control your future. It is wise to follow the order of the rules of society since it does create less chaos. These rules are delivered to us in so many ways. Rule of law, code of conduct, it could be an employee handbook, it could even be just watching people through daily observations. Understanding the wisdom of the order and the rules that we follow will help each of us to sustain this happiness, health, and wealth. Investigating and questioning the structure of the order that we are encountering will give us more information to make a wise decision. For me, about 3 years ago, I realized that the rules that I was following to conform to the order of the marriage that I had built were unwise. I had chosen to be married to someone who required elaborate rules and protocols in order to not be triggered by their unhealed thoughts, words, and actions. In the end, I decided the wisest thing I could do was to remove myself from this structure or marriage. Wisdom, justice, judgment, intuition, faith are all linked in a spiritual awareness. Wisdom can be that small little voice that whispers, yeah, but what about, or hold up, this doesn't feel right. Confusion often arises when the small wisdom voice is tainted with self-doubt. An unhealed ego can sabotage us, an unhealed ego can sabotage us by telling that going against the order isn't safe or wise somehow. It's important to have a healthy and confident sense of self. We are taught to know ourselves so that we may master our thoughts, words, and actions. So it's counterintuitive, but our fears and insecurities can derail our wise wisdom and our future. The phrase crippled by self-doubt is accurate. If you do not trust yourself, then we may have a difficult time believing that our desired reality is a worthy destination. The chapel teaches us to plant the seeds and not dig them up. Let them grow. We may be doing exactly the correct thing at the right time. However, if our faith in ourselves isn't stabilized, we can easily disrupt our own path with negative talk and self-doubt. Wisdom without faith in our wisdom is just history, data, and knowledge. Wisdom without faith in our wisdom is just history, data, and knowledge. Continuing to ignore your inner voice of wisdom for fear, short-term ease, or pleasure will cause our awareness of the invisible realm to decrease. When we have too much emphasis placed on this material world, our trust in our abilities can fade. In my opinion, this is the opposite of knowing oneself. Wise choices will form a future filled with what you desire. And Reverend David likes to say, desire is a worthy destination. If I'm in a funk or a pity party or irritated or need to get out of a situation, I visualize a small 3-inch Alice, the bottom of a plastic bucket. I'm too small to get out myself, but realistically, it's just a plastic bucket. I could figure this out. I investigate the who, what, where, when, why of the situation, use the data to formulate a best case scenario to solve the dilemma, because there's always a best case scenario. When the world gets curiouser and curiouser, spirit wants you to get curious. Using these tools, I'm able to guide my future with my choices. As a girl growing up, I chose to throw myself into school, becoming an excellent student. It allowed me to further myself and my plan, and plan a path away from my dysfunctional household. I decided early on that new knowledge and a whole new uncharted, unfamiliar path was where I needed to go. New people, places, and new things. I've never been interested in following anyone's footsteps, except for the white rabbit out of Wonderland. Lately, I felt wisdom as a gentle wind that fills the sails of my sailboat. It's quiet. It's a quiet, gentle force that I can harness to further my goals. It's always with me, and always ask it what it thinks, and it's very, very clear with me. When I trust myself, my choices, and my wisdom, the future is so much less scary and feels easy. When I trust my wisdom, I feel safe, peaceful. In peace, I am still. Thank you.
Thank you, Leslie, for that lovely talk. And now is the time we'll do our love offering for our chapel service. And we will place it between our hands and give it a blessing before we do. For those on Zoom, if you'd like to donate to unitedfellowshipchapel.org. Mother, Father, God, as we place between our hands that which you have ignited, we give to the source that what you have given to put into effect the law of tenfold return to those who give freely and from the heart. Amen. We have our bag here in the front, and if you guys can just take turns so that you have your space. Now's the time our mediums will give messages. When a medium comes to you, your clear and strong voice says yes, which connects the link between you, spirit, and them. Our first medium is going to be Aaron. Aaron, will you give one message, please?
Of course. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Jennifer, may I come to you?
Yes, you are welcome.
Okay, Jennifer. What spirit is showing me is a little pot with a little purple flower. I don't know what kind it is because I don't know flowers, but but this small little pot has been it's up and it's sprouted, and it's just this beautiful gift that is being presented to you with knowledge, higher level, higher information, knowledge that spirit is presenting with this little flower. And it's there for you. It's on your, little counter right there for you. And I leave that with you.
Thank you, Erin.
Mm-hmm.
No, frozen on my screen. Interesting. Thank you, Erin. Our next medium will be Sabine. Sabine, will you give one message, please?
You're muted.
Sabine, you're muted.
Got it. Kim, may I come to you?
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Hi, Kim. As I come to you today, I am seeing a rhino. And the rhino, when I see the rhino, they are, gosh, in the savannas in Africa, and they're so powerful. They're so unique. They've been around. They're so wise. They've been around for so many years and gathered all this wisdom. They're connected to the earth. They like to be alone. They like to be left alone. They don't fear anything. They're strong and confident and just amazing animals. And my message to you is that spend some time in that solitude and feel all that rhino energy. Let it re-energize you. Feel that strength. Feel that confidence. Connect to the earth. All of those beautiful qualities that has, the soul and the wisdom and that ancient wisdom that it has and that you have, and to use that as a reminder and gather strength from that, and it will help you continue on your path and with strength and confidence. And I leave that with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Sabine. Our next medium will be Jennifer. Jennifer, will you give one message, please?
Yes. Good day.
Okay.
Roberta, may I come to you?
Yes, thank you.
Roberta, as I come into your presence, I'm seeing this candle. It's a white candle with a beautiful golden flame. And it's in a room alone, but the room isn't dark because the candle is there providing the light. This is your message, Roberta, that the light you have at your center emanates from you brightly, and you light up the rooms that you enter, the spaces that you enter. So bring your light into the dark corners. This will bring you lightness, and this will connect you more thoroughly with those that you are estranged from. And I leave that with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Our next medium will be Roberta. Roberta, will you give one message, please?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone.
Afternoon.
Erin, may I come to you, please?
Yes, please.
Erin, there's a lot of really fun, enthusiastic energy that's coming forward with this message from Spirit to you. They're saying quite clearly that the universe loves a rebel just as much as it loves a nun. And the message in this for you is that there's actually a woman stepping forward, and she's holding a beehive. And there's bees like buzzing all around it. And what they're saying is it takes courage to sort of poke the beehive. It takes some courage to go to that place where there's a lot of perhaps, they're showing it to me as almost like you have this intensity or a vision or something that requires a little bit of extra nerves, right? So this idea of being able to poke the beehive. But what they're saying is that you have a tremendous amount of help, just like within the beehive, there are all these bees, incredible helpers. that once you get to that point, seeing this vision sort of come through, or being willing to acknowledge that this duality, sort of the both sides of you, the rebel and the nun, that you can, or priest, you can bring these energies together very successfully, and you have a lot of helpers behind you making that happen. And I leave that with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Roberta.
You're welcome.
Our next meeting will be Kim. Kim, will you give 2 messages?
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Sabine, may I please come to you?
Yes, please.
Okay, Sabine, I'm seeing with you is an owl. And this owl is perched up in this tree. And this owl, for me, symbolizes a deep connection with wisdom, intuition, and even knowledge. And you have the ability, it's saying that you can see what people are hiding. You know, people tend to hide behind this like a mask sometimes, or maybe it's the happy smile when someone's not happy, and you have that ability to see that. And with the owl, you have the guidance necessary to explore that unknown, and that uncomfortable feeling for other people. And you can help people by seeing what they cannot, and therefore that should be reassuring for you that you're on the right track and you're going to be able to do that. This is also a big change in your life that that you're changing. And again, how you can see through people, and you're going to be helping someone who needs this guidance. And I see that they're going to come to you because you're wise, and you're learning in this change the ability to see what's hidden in other people. And just remember, you do have that gift, and I leave that with you.
Thank you.
Reverend Michael, may I please come to you?
Yes, please.
And I get with you, Michael, our wings. It's maybe it's something with birds and wings with me today, but with your wings, I'm seeing that it only doesn't represent flying, your wings, but it suggests the improvement on a certain subject. So you're getting those wings, and you're going to be improving, and you're going to be able to fly with that. So we also see wings as messengers. So with the messenger, that could be a symbol of freedom and spirituality, and now is your time to fly, and you can go anywhere. That's the beauty of this, and something you're putting off because you're just not so sure. Now is the time. You have your wings, you have your intuition, you have your gifts, and you have to use that. And even though you're going to be flying, you're still going to be grounded. So continue, your continued growth is going to come together, and I see everything kind of falling in a full circle with you, and spread those wings. And I leave that with you.
My parents grounded me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Our next medium is going to be Leslie. Leslie, will you give 2 messages, please, sir?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Alexander, may I come to you, please?
Okay.
Excellent. Alexander, as I come to you this week, man, you are just like, I see big steps. You're walking with like confidence and big strides. Universe is saying, yeah, go for it. There's things that are going to be opportunities that are going to be coming up this next week where You may not want to make the step, and universe is like, what are you waiting for? Go. So relying upon your knowledge of where you are, what's going on, this should be a no-brainer for you. And universe is just like cheering you on. So step with confidence is the message. And I leave that with you. Welcome. Jackie, may I come to you, please? Excellent. Jackie, as I come to you today, I'm seeing squirrels, little mammals, and they're gathering around you, and they're trying to, they're guiding you down this path towards your goal. Man, it is just really, it's this warm, fuzzy, like I've just seen these blankets and warm and fuzzy and squirrels and just like comfort and joy. I'm seeing lots of comfort with it, softness, maybe peace there, maybe looking to get away for yourself. Yeah. Follow the signs. The signs are leading you. The squirrels are jumping up and down, but they're little and they may not be noticed. So universe is looking to have you notice the little thing. I'll leave that with you. Welcome.
Thank you, Leslie. Our next meeting will be Rachel. 2 messages, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Reverend Ernestina, may I come to you?
Yes, welcome.
Birds of prey, birds of a feather, they all flock together. This is a note of family and strong ancestral ties. The hawks are messengers of great vision, great sight, and you have these all within you. And there's a connection with your ancestry that you're being able to focus on. Trust this and trust this message that your ancestors are always with you and they're calling out for your attention right now. And I like that with you. Oh yeah, may I come see you? There's a pool of water, and water is a symbol of diving deep in your emotions. You may feel emotional at times, and things may bubble up to the surface. Know that this is natural, and it's a natural process to go within to receive the messages that your emotions bring to you. And understand that feelings are just that, they are feelings. And I leave that with you.
Thank you, Rachel. Our next medium will be Reverend Ernestina. 2 messages, please.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Reverend Blanca, may I come to you?
Yes.
So today is a Sunday that has been designated by our society to honor our mothers, our female part of us. And what the Spirit is telling me is that it is not just for today. And it comes to you, especially because you carry this love and nurturing side of you with you at all times. You exude it, you leave it with people, carry it with you. And it is not just for today, but every day, and you do it all well. And I leave that with you. God bless. Thank you. Rachel, may I come to you? As I come to you today, Rachel, I see you very studious because it is a part of you now. And this gift, and you are aware of all these gifts within you, what I'm being told is that this path that you are on, the more time and quiet meditation and the space you give yourself for that, the more prosperous you become in everything. And I leave that with you. Everyone's.
Thank you, Reverend Ernestina. Our next medium will be Reverend Tanya from Las Cruces, New Mexico. originally from here.
Thank you. Thank you, Angie. Speaking of Angie, may I come to you?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I'm seeing a really large, oversized, jumbo-sized beach ball. And it looks like it's just laying there waiting for you. And doesn't appear to have a purpose, and it appears to be very still. But the closer you come to it, you feel the energy. This beach ball represents something in your life that is filled with kinetic and spiritual energy. It's just, packed in there. And as the closer you get, it starts to vibrate and bounce. And so what I'm saying about this is that you is a suggestion that as you get to get your arms around this thing, respect the fact that it's going to be bouncy, and you need to think about how you're going to approach this thing, and you are going to have the power and the control over it that you need, and you're going to gain a lot of energy yourself from it and sharing it. So it's really exciting. I feel like it's a project of some kind. It really feels awesome, and I will leave that with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Reverend David, may I come to you?
Please do.
Thank you. Reverend David, I'm seeing you walking down. You're walking through a valley, and the valley is on both sides are the mountains, and you feel like you're walking alone. Well, you are walking alone down this valley. But what happens is, and you don't see it because they're hiding, that as you walk by, people are coming out of the canyons, coming out of caves, and they're applauding you, and they're waving and saying hi. And there are some people who are coming with gifts and giving them to you. And this is not like just a few feet. This is like a really long valley. That lots of this is happening. It's happening for not just one day, but I see it eternally. And it's something that you were aware of before, but you are becoming more aware of it now. And the more aware you are, the more you see of them. And they're just all these people and spirit, and they're just bringing gifts. And it's like a party happening on either side of this valley that's coming into the valley as you come near them. So it's beautiful, and I will leave that with you.
Thank you.
And thank you, and happy birthday.
Thank you, Reverend Tanya. Our next medium will be Reverend David. True messages.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Ken, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Ken, as I come into your presence today, I see this upcoming week, it gets clearer and clearer as the week goes on, and know that you're coming across something that you don't feel is quite the best way of doing things. Be a little bit more patient, and later on, maybe 2 or 3 days after the week starts, you'll have more information to give out, and there's some changes that take place, and they will listen to that, and they will not only listen, but they'll act on it. I leave it with you, and God bless you. Reverend Tanya, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
Payback. As I come into your presence, I see the symbol of studies, and I feel that there's some studying to do more with not this book, but the next book that you're developing right now, and you can't go to any book to get this study. You know where the study is in your soul, and you have lived this before coming in here, and so this upcoming week when you do your quiet time, pay a little bit more attention to your feelings and the images, because the images are going to be really strange. But I know you're used to that. But stick with those strange images because they'll make sense to you as the goes on. I leave it with you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend David. I'll be next meeting. Leslie, may I come to you?
Yes, please.
So Leslie, I'm seeing these cement pods. It's like your next steps, your next life, your next position on what you're doing. And each one, Spirit's saying here is, think of it as like a stove, those plates, the hot. As you approach it, you're not going to put your hand on it right away, like the child that we would have done, which I've done, jumping in too fast. And to really absorb those next steps. And each one is super developed, super important, and to not take any shortcuts on it, really absorb what you really want defined in your life and start pulling weeds as soon as possible and get that, as Reverend David says all the time, you know, the cement can't be without the gravel, and those are those weeds. You know, just solidify the gravel, and it's necessary in the steps of it all to be complete. But once you start doing that, then the steps get faster. And so we've all been going fast, and now's the time for the soft, gentle approach, and you'll be able to absorb and fulfill your life and love much easier. And I leave that with you. Blessings to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I want to give thanks to each and every one of you for all being here today. We'll sing on the back of the program, Let There Be Love. Except we held hands. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be love on earth, a love that was meant to be. With God as our knowing, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let love begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in love eternally. Let there be love on earth, and let it begin with me. Mother, Father, God, we give gratitude and thanks for this day. We ask for your infinite light of protection to be with us and through us as we go on our path. So when we meet those on our passage, we share the love that is so abundant. We give thanks for this day. Amen.
Amen.
And happy birthday, Reverend David.
Happy birthday.
And to all of our mothers, bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.